So I think it's story time. So, I was telling a story on stream a while ago about a bike accident. And I was looking back at my wonderful history, and I was trying to figure out what would make another good story. And I think an excellent one would be another bike story. So this one actually comes from my mission. It was about dinner time. My companion and I, we made our way to the apartment where we had our dinner appointment set. So we're sitting outside, and the gate's locked, as they usually are in LA, and there's no way for us to open the gate up. Because sometimes you have those gates where they lock them, but then some of the gates are either somewhat unlocked halfway, or you can kind of jimmy it open. And this particular gate was not in that kind of a gate. So we were gonna call the members we had scheduled our dinner appointment with, and that's when we realized we had forgotten our phone at the apartment. So for an area in LA, I would say the area that we had was kind of mid-sized, but it was still could take a decent amount of time to get across our area. And that's where this particular dinner appointment was like almost all the way across our area from where we were, from our apartment. So what we ended up doing and deciding to do is riding all the way back to the apartment to pick up the phone so that we could call the members. And we had 10 or 15 minutes before the time the appointment was set for. So we were a little bit early when we initially got there. So what we do is okay, maybe we can make it really, really fast. So we basically go zooming down the road to the appointment, or back to our apartment. So we get around everything just fine. Traffic was pretty smooth as well. Usually is. I don't think we hit that many red lights either. But yeah, we get back to our apartment. It's a really nice one in the middle of Koreatown. So it was one of the nicer ones that I actually got to stay in. It had a reverse osmosis water system in it too. And being as it was in Koreatown, this particular apartment, yeah, I'm pretty sure was basically all Koreans in it. So we actually, I believe we were on not quite the top floor. I believe it had 4 floors on it, so we were on the 3rd floor. And the only way up was an elevator. So we had to take the elevator up. It didn't really take that long. It took us 2 minutes to get back across our area. Because we were no, it took us 6 minutes actually, I think, to get across the area into our apartment. So we get the phone. We have no missed calls or anything. So it's we're kind of crunched on time. So we basically we did pretty well. Let's zoom across the area back again and see if we can actually make it quicker, because elders just think that way sometimes. I don't know what it is, difference between elders and sisters, but sometimes elders just like to challenge themselves. So I think we'd actually made it back a little bit quicker, funnily enough too. But we started going. we were heading up this road. We weren't even that far from the apartment, but there had been, numerous points of road construction. So they've got these nice metal plates that they use to cover up the, sections of road that they're working on when they leave big gaping holes in them. So one of these plates was off to the side of the road, and I had one of those nice road bikes with like the thin tires. I still have it. It's in the garage. I need to fix it up and get it tuned up and everything. So if you want to help with that, but so I had one of those, and so this plate is probably, I'd put it at probably about 1 centimeter thick, which is about a 1/2 inch thick. So you've got this, and I'd passed it previously without a problem. But when I passed it to get closer to the side of the road this time, I was coming up onto it as I was getting closer to the side of the road. So as I came up to it, I was kind of getting to get up on top of it. The edge of the plate, as I was coming over, kind of caught my wheel. So if you can imagine what a bike does, as the front wheel catches a lip, that's basically what the bike did. And so with as fast as I was going, I probably went, I think I was a good yard or two away from the plate by the time I had stopped. But I ended up landing on my right side too. And so with the way the road bikes, if you haven't seen them, they basically have like these handlebars, and then you've got the curves on them. That's sort of like a racing bike's handlebars, if you've ever seen those. This was a vintage bike. It's a really nice one. I got it for like a steal of $20 off of someone, and it's kind of sketchy, the operation he had going. But that could be a story for another day. But I was kind of hunkered down in it going fast so that I wouldn't have as much drag. And so as I'm coming down, my right hand ends up hitting the road a little bit too. And so I had a small scrape on the top of my hand. So it kind of sucked. It hurt for a little bit. I ended up ripping my pants. This was, I believe it was a Sunday. So, because I was in suit pants. So I ended up ripping up the shoulder on my shirt partially. And then I had a small hole in my suit pants. This particular suit these pants were for were olive, and it's a really nice suit. I don't think I still fit in it anymore. I don't think I fit in my suits from my mission anymore at all. But the suits I got were really nice. They were a CTR clothing specialty, so they were built for like missionaries. And so they were like Teflon coated and everything, so you could just like swipe off, any drinks and stuff that gets on it for the most part. But, so that ended up happening. It all looked fine from the get-go. So we go to dinner, we eat, we kind of tell the story. They're like, oh no, but it's like we were all laughing about it because it's like hee hee ha ha, that's kind of funny. Nothing all that bad. End up getting back to the apartment, and it's like my hands started to kind of swell up a bit from everything. And so it's like, okay, so each mission, they have a basically designated nurse and doctor that basically sees the missionaries. They've got it really well organized, and the church takes care of most of that. So you've got a doctor that lives in the area. Usually they're someone that lives there anyway. So it's like it's not that bad of a deal. And they get blessings for helping the missionaries anyway. So, you know, it's not that bad. And I think a lot of times their members are that way. So we call up the missioner. She's like, okay, we'll just have to have the doctor check it out to see if it's okay. So it's like, okay, we call up. Wait, so I believe she actually had called the doctor. I can't remember exactly the details on that. But we end up getting to a point where it's like, okay, just go see the doctor. It'll be fine. No, this was a Saturday night. Okay, it's fine. I've got my details half straight. That's all that matters. It was a Saturday night because that's important for like what comes next. But we go and see. We end up going to the doctor's house, and the latest missionary curfew is like 9:30. So we're barely like skating the 9 o'clock line already. And we have our zone leaders who are basically missionaries that cover a larger area and basically have an assignment or stewardship in order to like oversee some of the needs in like a particularly larger area. It's kind of a breakdown of a lot of things. That's the way like church organization works if you don't know. But they end up taking us to the doctor's house at like 9:30 at night. And so the doctor isn't even there, but her husband is. She's a member, but he's not. So he's like, oh, yeah, I heard. So yeah, I'm a orthopedic doctor, for those that don't know, a foot doctor, but if it's your hand, yeah, I'll check it out anyway. So he looks at it, it's like, well, looks okay to me. I mean, it's nothing too bad. You can still kind of move it, right? Yeah, it kind of feels like puffy and kind of hurts a little bit to move, but yeah, other than that, it seems fine. It's like, okay, just keep an eye on it, make sure that, you know, the usual thing. But yeah, you should be fine for the most part. And so, end up going back. We're basically out until 10 at that point, which is like, yeah, we stayed out past and it's okay because we were told we could and blah, 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 you know, that kind of thing. But, so next day, Sunday, go to church, and the traditional church greeting is a handshake, and usually with the right hand. And so since my right hand is like half swollen, I'm sitting there like I left hand the whole time. They're like, wait, what? Mi mano derecha es hinchada, which is my right hand is swollen. And so they're like, oh, what did you do? Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, okay, yeah. And so, yeah, it was kind of fun. It was swollen for like a day or two, and it went down just fine. So it was mostly like, get a little ice on it on occasion maybe, but yeah, other than that, that one was a little fun experience. But if you want to hear more fun stories, and I can review some stories that I think I've told on stream so that they're in a format like this, and maybe go into more detail than I did on stream, I can do that. You know, just kind of send me money through Subscribestar, PayPal, or that kind of stuff. I'll be working on the website a little bit that I've set up over the next little bit, because I've got a bit more time since tomatoes stopped, and I don't really have to think about getting up that early. So that'll be exciting. There'll be a couple other things that I'm planning on doing over there. So if you join the Discord, you'll stay updated with that. And there are some things that I'll end up posting to Twitter and the Pleroma instance as well. So some of the larger ones will go to those places, but most of the smaller stuff that you may like will be posted on Discord, since that's where I'm most active for now. So if you want to keep up with all that stuff, join the Discord, drop a subscribe, whatever else, like whatever. So yeah.